Actually, I'm a China researcher, so when you mentioned that the elephant in the room is China, I was very happy because I really want to ask this question: that what should we see on China? So when we are watching China, what is the thing we really have to focus? Because of course we all read Economist and those kind of Western papers, and they try to tell a story about China. But with your experience, what would you say? What we have to really understand about China, and what should we focus on in the next coming years, decades?
I've been to Europe over 100 times. I don't think I have more than a superficial understanding of Europe. China is twice the size of Europe in population and in land area maybe 3 times or more. Well, let's say twice. So it's a complex reality. There's no danger that any European will understand too much about China. So when I meet young European friends who ask me for advice, I say, go to China. Find any and every reason to go to China at least once a year. I say it will be good for you, and there's no danger that you will learn too much. Why should you not? If you're a parent, and this economy is going to be bigger than anyone else on earth by a big margin, you better know it, whether for offensive reasons or for defensive reasons. And you should teach your children Chinese, or at least get them interested, because it will be a great asset to them. But the mood now is Confucius Institutes. Oh, there's subversion. I can't, for the life of me, understand the current mood. When I was in Cambridge, Joseph Needham was still master of Gonville and King's College. He had a profound influence on me. His encyclopedic work, Sense and Civilization of China, reached a depth of analysis which even the Chinese themselves appreciated. That scholarship has weakened greatly, not just in Cambridge, but throughout Europe. And yet China is getting bigger. So something needs to be done desperately. I've because of my association with the Catholic Church, I have this dream, maybe Hungary can play some kind of a role. I don't know. It would be good if China has a university for classical studies. Not just a language, Roman and Greek, but understand the Roman world, understand classical Europe. And Europe in turn helps China, and China in turn helps Europe develop a university for understanding China. And you need more than a university to understand China. The Jesuits did a lot with very little. And even that, according to Joseph Needham, created the basis of the French Revolution. Because the Jesuits said, remarkably, you have a moral order without organized religion. How could that be possible? Because it was never in the European experience. So he wrote about it, translated the Chinese classics into Latin. According to Needham, the French encyclopedists, men like Voltaire and Descartes, when they read all this, they said, yes, that's our answer to the Catholic Church domination, the Catholic mind suppression of independent thought. And it began a period of de-Christianization. But beyond a point, de-Christianization is very dangerous because you cut off your own legs. If you're not rooted, how do you change? China, in its transformation, keeps on going back to its own history. So the more your branches grow, the deeper your roots go. But the current mood of Europe is you chop off your legs. I said, this will help me to change. To me, that's very dangerous. So when I was briefed on Castle Hill, and why the Hungarian parliament is neo-Gothic and not neoclassical, I say there's a certain wisdom in the way your leaders think. Because don't lose your roots. You lose your roots, you'll be swept away. You'll be cast aside. Now, I do Tai Chi. I think you're familiar with Tai Chi. Tai Chi has a certain principle that the more rooted you are, the freer you are. If you're not rooted, you lose your balance. If you're rooted, you can do pirouettes and maintain balance. So rootedness is very important. Anyway, this is just a view from afar. I feel embarrassed to talk about this because I know very little about Hungary. I just have a slight sense of you, which I like. And I'm just giving you my impressions.
Well, I think they're fascinating.
姐妹们总烦恼脸上细纹、干燥与暗沉。现在起，跟我一起放心交给 KS Royal Face 皇家颜值逆时奇迹系列。KS Royal Face 皇家颜值逆时奇迹系列，它添加5种 EGF， 专门防止肌肤老化，强化皮肤修复，增加肌肤弹性水嫩，轻松抚平皱纹，换回青春自信。KS Royal Face 皇家颜值逆时奇迹，活肤露、全效精华、精华霜，即刻启动冻龄密码。